Just saying no sound.
It's there now. I've started it now. It's there now.
Do we have sound now? Should we bong again?
Should we just pretend this hasn't happened. We're going to go right back to the start of everything and do everything again, okay? Is that alright, everybody? Yeah, cool. Okay.
Hi, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris news.
Straight home, mind the trams.
How illuminating.
I haven't got one.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney fans, and welcome to another 37 Disney Street. I am Lucy, this is Hugh, this is Christopher, and we are here to talk about all things Disneyland Paris tonight, plus a few extra bits. We always have Disney things to moan about. If you have any questions, please pop them in the chat, but we've already had a really fun one if you want to answer it down below, and that is if you had to choose a Disney character to represent you in Eurovision, who would it be?
This is from Joey.
This is from Joey. I think that we'll answer that after we've found out who's here with us today.
Before we find out who's here with us today, can I just apologise up front for the sound because I forgot one of the mics. So we're working on two mics, which is fine, but it means we're all a bit further away, so we're a bit echoey today. So hopefully you can hear us okay.
We have to speak up.
We have to speak up, but we also have to not speak too loud. And Hugh and I are both too close to the microphones, and Lucy's a bit further away. So
I'll raise my volume, you lower yours.
Anywho.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Who are they?
All aboard.
Wow, you'll definitely have heard that.
It's never been so high pitched. Yeah, I was trying to listen to the audio, so I didn't know what we were doing until I heard the jingle. So, as we found out, Joey was first in the chat. So we're going to answer Joey's question.
Ooh.
Joey said, "Hey everyone, looking forward to the show. I haven't got a would you rather tonight. However, I do have a question. Which Disney character would you pick to represent us in Eurovision?"
I've got one.
So should we answer that once we've found out everyone who's in the chat?
Okay, come back to it.
Yeah, let everyone else answer.
We've got Nick in the chat. I would have... Well, Nick is answering the question, you see.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Nick said, I would have Clarabelle representing us. She has got...
Clarabelle.
Got to be better than what we can give to the contest.
Shall we answer then, before we go through everyone else's answers, if we've already had answers?
Kelfie says Dumbo would have been better.
Interesting.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Well, go on then.
I'm going to go Alameda Slim and the Cows, because I think that would be an amazing show to see.
Alameda
From Home on the Range.
Oh, wow, yes.
What a show that would be.
That would be good.
Yeah.
If it had to be UK exclusive, because from the UK, it would be Mary Poppins, because what a voice, either one of them. But I'd probably edge towards Julie Andrews. However, if it could be anybody from all of Disney canon, I'd have to go with the Muses as a band.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I like that.
I was going to say, what's Zac Efron's character called?
Oh, yeah.
No. I was trying to think
Troy.
I was trying to think of...
I don't know.
I think it's Troy. I was trying to think of characters that specifically are known as singers in Disney films. Not that they sing because they're in a musical. They're known for being singers. And the most obvious one to me was Willie the operatic whale from The Whale Who Wanted to Sing at the Met.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
La, 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 la. So I'm going to go with Willie the operatic whale.
Willie the operatic ale. Whale.
Ale.
I've got beer on the mind.
Anyway, John says, "Hey gang, lovely sunny evening down here in Torbados. Hope everyone's had a good week."
Torbados. Torquay?
Oh,
Maybe.
right, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, is that Torquay? Torbados. Very good. We've got one like that near Disney Street called Ponte Carlo.
I was in Skeg Vegas last week, and there actually are signs as you leave Skegness that say welcome to, as you're arriving, that say welcome to Skeg Vegas.
Ponte Carlo is Pontefract, for those who couldn't work it out.
And it's near Cas Vegas.
Vegas,
yeah.
Which is Castleford.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, oh no, it's not important. Right. Nick says, can you do a shout out for our Jasmine, who will be 6 on Friday, 17th of May, in the way of Genie, if possible. Then I can let her watch it in the morning before school.
We could do the jingle as well.
Well, the thing about Genie is, now, last time I tried to do a Genie, I kept saying that he says, oh. That's my Robbie Williams. Oh. And then you just... Robin, sorry. Oh. But then I can't actually do a Genie voice. But then, as you said, you can just do any impression.
Yeah.
So,
could you do it like Good Morning Vietnam, kind of?
It's very...
Can you do Cagney and Lacey? Can you do...
No. But I'm going to do Fozzie Bear.
Okay.
Genie doing Fozzie Bear.
Okay. So you have to start with...
Yeah, I have to start with a... Oh.
Happy birthday, Jasmine. I hope you have a lovely day. Waka waka.
Oh.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jasmine.
Was that a high C?
It was pretty high.
It was something.
It was squeaky.
Yes.
It was something. Ruth says, hi everyone. 15 days to go until DLP. We've got Andrew in the house.
Hey, Andrew.
Who says quite simply, hi there. Laura says, hi everyone. First time on the live.
Ooh.
Yay,
Good to
hi
have-
Laura.
Phil Coleman.
Good to have you along. We are currently driving from Scotland to DLP for a 5-night stay in the Disneyland Hotel.
People do that. They drive from Scotland to Disneyland Paris. Do you do it in one go?
Super excited, and we will send the trip reports when we are back.
Wow. I prefer you, Genie.
Offensive?
It's you
It's
kind
not
of
great, is it?
you plumped for an area.
Generic.
Generic, yeah.
A really generic Scottish accent.
That's a hang though. Super excited that we will send a trip report when we are back.
Please do send the trip report. We'd really like to listen to
That's
it.
a hang. And also, apologies for these offensive Scottish accents.
Let's do the whole show like this.
I'm genetically half Scottish, but I'm culturally half Australian. It's true. My mum was born in Scotland, but she's an Aussie.
Do you put that in your bio?
I do. Sometimes I do. Tracy says, hi everyone, me and Elsie have our tiki drinks ready and our spicy Whatsits.
Ooh, so we have those too. Spicy Whatsits and also spicy Doritos, but I think they're the same flavour, so it'll be much of a muchness, I imagine.
Bonnie says 15 days until Walt Disney World. That's Bonnie in the chat under Lucy's name. Mel says hello, and we've also got Wits Wanderlust. Hello, good to see you again. And Emma is here, and Pip, 69 days for Pip to DLP. Jen and Verena or Verena? Verena. Yeah, a third option. Verena.
Please spell it phonetically for us.
Hi, it's exactly a week since my DLP trip. Disney Blues.
Oh.
And then people telling us the sound's not on. Cheryl's in double digits because Cheryl it was 100 days, wasn't it, until the Disney cruise.
Yeah.
But now in double digits.
Yay, that's where it gets exciting.
Jenny says hello from Cardiff. We won't do another accent, will we? Will we? No. Just been on a real pirate ship. Henry and Ollie here too, first time live. Hi, Henry and Ollie.
Hi, Henry and Ollie.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, real pirate ship, because you could get arrested for that.
Here's a good one for the Eurovision. Elsie said the Dapper Dans.
Oh.
Do they count?
Dans.
Very good.
Yes, they do count. Jay says, good evening from Jay of the Bay in Torquay. What is your favourite Disney Loungefly? I can go get it if you tell me which one it is.
Okay.
Or can I guess?
Just go pick one now. It's going to disappear and pick one up.
There's one that I use the most.
Yeah.
There's one that I think is the cleverest.
Yes.
And there's one that means the most to me.
Oh, do I have to go get all those three?
No. Do the one that I use the most.
Oh.
Oh, wow. It's like that Finders Keepers game that we used to watch
It
with
is.
the kids, isn't it?
And then we've also got Lisa Gazelle from Zootropolis for the win.
Oh, yeah. That'd be good.
Joey says good choices. I would go for the Muses from Hercules, or maybe Hugh after that high voice.
That's what I said.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah, and that's Laura's getting the ferry at 4:40 a.m. Right, I'm going to go find this most used Loungefly bag.
Can I tell a little story?
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, just to let you know, some very, very kind person this week has purchased one of our shirts from TeePublic. Now, we don't get a lot of money from the TeePublic shirts, but that's fine.
I forgot we had it. We pushed it for a while.
Yeah, we pushed it for a while. It's there in the comments if you ever want one, but we've got a mango whip, mine's a mango whip shirt, and we've got a What's in Your Tiki Cup shirt. But because we make so little out of it, we got, I think, $2, and I thought I wanted to do something with that $2 that meant something to the show. So I had a bit of a look around. I said, I'm going to get something spicy. So I got something spicy. I've got some Tingly Ted's extra tingly sauce. This is Ed Sheeran's hot sauce. Ed Sheeran's hot sauce, everybody. So there we go. We've got that to try as well now. I just thought, isn't that a good use of $2? I think it is. So thank you, whoever it was who bought the shirt. Massively appreciated. Because now we get hot sauce.
Because there's one thing we need in our house. It's more hot sauce.
I'm not
Honestly,
leaving it here. I'll take
you
it.
should see our top cupboard, listeners. It's like it's a branch of what do they call that? What's that shop in Leeds?
I don't know. Spice World.
Something like that. Yeah. Let's say it's like a branch of Spice World. What's he brought? Oh, he's brought loads.
I've got a selection of bags.
He's brought 4, but he only had to find 3.
Yes, well, here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Bonnie's chosen one.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
I think.
Let's just talk Loungeflies for a second.
I think the one Lucy uses the most is the Encanto one.
It
Oh,
is.
nice.
Because
It is?
It is. I use
One
it
out
the
of
most-
3.
It goes with the most outfits, and it also doesn't matter if it doesn't go with your outfits because it's so colourful. And I just really like that. That's
bit
a
good,
very,
isn't it?
very day-to-day bag. And it doesn't look too... I've got a thing with the ones that have got too literal in their pictures can look a bit childish, like a kid's bag.
Yeah.
And the ones that are just kind of printed on look a bit too Yves Saint Laurent for me. You know, when they've just got little things. This is a perfect medium for me. I love this bag.
This
Very
is the
nice.
one I got thinking you thought it was the best designed.
I thought that'd be the most clever one. I think.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
That's what Lucy said. Yeah, that's what I thought she'd pick the
Yeah.
most clever one.
Yeah. This is and this is very special.
I'd
This is
forgotten
like
how
a-
nice that is.
Am I
actually.
correct?
Yeah, you are correct.
2 out of 3.
You are correct. It's if you can't see, there's going to be listeners who can't see at all. It's in the shape of a Cinderella book, but the front is clear, so that you're able to put your pins in. Hang on, I can open up this up.
And they fall out
Some
all
of
the
them,
time.
some of them have fallen off, so I need to fix. I got some of those safety backs, so this
Oh,
will
did you?
stop
You-
happening.
you
So I
talked
need
about
to,
that before.
yeah. So I need
Cool.
to go through them all and put all the safety backs on.
Now,
Anyway,
the one that I think Bonnie thought this was the one that you would say.
just let me finish talking about
Okay.
this. But it is quite large, which is good because it fits a lot in. But it's impractical because the zip is very small, so you struggle to get things in and out of it. So whereas you could use it as a part bag because there's enough room for drinks and ponchos and
Yeah.
stuff, you'd have a bit of a devil getting your hand in and out of there. So I do use it quite a lot though, but it's not the most practical one.
This is what Bonnie thinks means the most.
No, actually, I lied when I said this is the one I think's the best designed. I like the design of this, and I know the ones I said were too literal characters were kiddie.
This is a Donald Duck cruise bag.
But for some reason, I don't feel that about this. I think it's because the way they use the zip and the thing, it's just a bit cleverer.
Yeah.
So I really like that one.
It's nice. Isn't
And
it?
here's the one that I got you, so I think it's the best.
Yeah, I forget this is like...
It's a Bambi
It's
one,
actually a lounge
exclusive to one of those.
I thought you were going to say DVC.
Like
reseller scum.
What was it Merchoid or
Yeah.
or Geek? What they call, you know those?
yeah, Geek Retreat.
No,
No.
not that one. Let me see.
It's a bit nice, is that, isn't it?
I forget that this is a Loungefly. That's why I didn't count it in this. This is one of my favourite handbags, but it's just because it's not part of the rucksack
Kind of
collection, I
close up
forget.
on you again. There you go. There you go.
And
There
to
it is
prove
for
it
those
is a
who are watching.
Loungefly, look there, it is a Loungefly. But this is my want to feel like a grown-up
I'm
handbag.
thinking of Truffle Shuffle or Geek Core or Merchoid, something like that.
It was an exclusive.
It was, yeah.
Right. Cool.
So then, the one I was going to say meant the most to me was I've got a DVC one, which, as you know, my DVC means a lot to me. But specifically this one, I'd seen it online, got all excited. I'll get it when I get to Disney World. And we went in every shop, in every DVC resort. We actually took a special trip to Animal Kingdom Lodge, didn't have it anywhere. And then next time I went back, like 9 months later, we found it in one of the shops. And I did that thing where I actually went, you know, that like, oh my God. And
I just missed it on the video.
I was bitter about the fact that I'd wanted this bag and I couldn't find it. And then we found it. Yay.
I can't find where it's from, but it doesn't matter, does it?
No.
In the chat,
I'll look at my receipts.
Pip says, that was me who bought the Minds of Mango Whip shirt, so thank you, Pip, for Tingly Ted's Extra Tingly Sauce.
Thank you.
We'll try that in a bit.
And if anyone else, they are actually really good t-shirts.
Funko.
Of
course, it was from Funko.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird, isn't it?
You don't like Funko particularly, do you?
I don't like Funko Pops now.
Although the clock is, our Extra Magic Time clock is Funko.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. So they do other things that are nice.
The other thing is, it's Ver like Veronica and Ina like Serena. Or Serena, is it Serena?
Verena.
I think
from
it's
Germany.
I think Serena.
Is it Serena or is it Serena?
I think it'd be Serena.
In
If it's
Italy,
Serena
I know an
Williams.
Italian called
Verena.
Serena.
Was that it? Verena.
Verena.
Do you know what? It's a beautiful name.
It is.
It is a beautiful name. It really is. It's a nice, lovely name. Lovely name.
I've already scratched off Germany. Was it for Verena that I scratched it off? Probably was. I don't know.
I don't recall. Do we do some of our very short news?
Do some of our news. I'm looking.
I'm really sorry I keep coughing, by the way, particularly for those of you who are listening to this as a podcast, because that's probably going to be a lot worse than those of you watching on the telly if you've got your earphones in. But I've got a bit of a tickly cough today. It's doing my nut.
Can you
to give a very Yorkshire phrase.
Transmit viruses through earphones?
No, you'll be fine. You'll all be fine. These two, screwed.
Yeah. Well, we've had everything and are currently going through other things.
Yeah.
Right, straight home, mind the trams. The reason that's a headline is because we used to have a friend. I used to work in a pub, and there was a friend in the pub who, every time he left, went, "See you later, straight home, mind the trams."
Straight home, mind the trams. It was his catchphrase, and it will say it, don't be morbid, on his tombstone.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Derek.
You know him from the West.
Who's that?
He's just one of the West people.
Right, okay.
You know the people.
Yeah, I do.
But yeah. So that's...
Straight home, mind the trams.
And the thing is, we say it all the time now, don't we?
Yeah.
It's become a thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
Straight home, mind the trams.
Straight home.
So this headline means the park hours have now been released for the duration of the Olympics over the summer. People have several times asked us, will it be busier this summer because of the Olympics? And we don't know. We wish we knew, don't we? We don't know if it'll be more busy, less busy, different kind of busy because you've got day trippers, that kind of thing. We don't know. What we do know...
We just don't know.
...is that the latest the parks will shut during the Olympics is 10:30. Generally, I think summer opening times are 11, and then they don't kick you out very quickly. So it tends to be more like 12. But the reason this is to allow cast members and guests, but specifically cast members, to get home on public transport because they foresee so much disruption. So we don't know what other disruptions there will be. We have already said check your travel if you're doing the train, haven't we, from Calais to whatever. But we do know that we will be shutting early, and for clarification, the Olympics run from the 26th of July to the 11th of August, and the Paralympics run from the 28th of August to the 8th of September. I don't remember there being a 17-day gap between them before. In my head, I always feel like one ends and the other one starts 2 days later. Am I just wrong?
Yeah.
I'm just wrong.
You are just wrong.
Okay. So that 2 weeks from the 26th of July to the 11th of August, and from the 28th of August to the 8th of September, the latest the parks will be open will be 10:30. Yay!
Cool.
That's my first bit of news.
Good. Can I get a drink? Because I think it might help with my coffee.
Yes, of course you can.
Cups at the ready, boys, girls.
Ole! It's showtime!
All together.
Your tiki 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 cup in your tiki 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 cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage, now drink it up from your tiki 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 cup.
Today, because we are absolute #lads, Chris and I are having Bud Lime again. # not sponsored. That's yours.
It's there. It's visible on the thing.
Oh,
so
right.
everybody
It's
knew.
a non-alcoholic beer with lime flavour.
It's really good, actually. I
It's
really
nice.
thoroughly enjoyed it last time I had this.
That is about as lad adjacent as you can get.
That's what we are. That's entirely what we are, lad adjacent.
Non-alcoholic and with a little citrus twist.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we are sensitive men.
we're just men.
We were watching
Just ordinary men.
Sensitive, ordinary, innocent men.
Disney News on DFB today. Me and Bonnie this morning, and they announced a new Dole Whip flavour,
Ooh.
and it was lime and mango swirl.
Ooh.
And I just went, Hugh, did you hear that? And he went, yeah. Because were you weren't in the other room? You were just doing something, weren't you?
I was on the bed drawing or reading.
Did you hear that, Hugh? Yeah.
I was like, yeah. But it was $17.
No, that was the margarita version. They do the non-alcoholic version because it also had a chili dust on it.
It was all the things.
It was
Well,
all the Hugh things.
I ordered something yesterday to be delivered today to bring to the show, and I realised this morning I'd left it in my Amazon outbox thing, whatever it's called, basket, and I hadn't actually ordered it. But I will be getting some, and if anybody else wants to get some as well, then we can do a tasting together. But they sell pickled chili mango, and I just thought that sounds like just exactly what we kind of want, but maybe without a pickle. But I thought it sounded intriguing enough to be something we want to give a go.
If you don't know, if you're a new listener, mango is the official flavour of the Disneyland Paris Show, just because they did a mango whip, which was superior to the pineapple Dole Whip, but then they took it away again. But mango will forever live on in our hearts.
The funny thing as well is that that hasn't been available at any point in the entirety of my visits to DLP. It's never been something that was ever a thing.
Well,
there we are. But I love mango.
Tracy's having pog juice,
Oh,
which they have in
is that made out of little plastic
Disney
thing?
World.
Pineapple,
I'll let Taz
orange,
have that.
and
It's
guava.
basically umbongo. So it gets out some
What's it?
umbongo.
They drink it in the Congo.
I could do the whole song if you like, but I won't. That's kind of like pog juice.
Okay.
We
Umbongos.
I spent my year out in Zambia. Only 6 weeks of it, not the whole time. But we worked out the route to fly to the Zambia, went over the Congo. So me and my friends thought it'd be cute to get some umbongo so we could drink it in the Congo as we flew over the Congo. Got taken off as security because of course it did. You can't take
Liquids.
Can't take juice in your hand luggage, can you? Anyway, the thought was there.
Oh dear.
Right. Shall we talk about the last piece of news, or do you want to talk about your trip? Or do you not want to talk about your trip?
We can talk about that trip if you like.
Let's talk about your... We need one of those on the...
The Hulk music.
Or what is it? The love song music from Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
Sarah says she'll always remember those sunny afternoons we spent together.
We've set the mood. What's happened, Chris?
Cancel my trip.
No!
Moving on. So,
Good night.
basically, we were supposed to be going to Halloween, and it's all been planned to go to Halloween. And I wasn't really going to talk about it, to be honest with you, because it's all down to financials and stuff, and it's a bit depressing in that sense. But basically, we had a look at everything, and we've been talking about whether we moved it anyway for probably the last 3 or 4 months. But as the final payment date looms or starts to get closer, we just thought, you know what? Let's just push it back to a time when we know we're going to be okay to do it, and not put ourselves under undue pressure, because you know what, cost of living is ridiculous at the moment,
Yeah.
and it's taking its toll. So we've just thought, no, do you know what? Let's be sensible. We're not going to go. We've plenty of other stuff on this year, and that's the thing. We've got family things that we're doing, and we can't get out of them, so we can't.
Do you think there's a pressure when if you go at a time where money's tighter, there's more of a pressure on you? I mean, I'd say there is a pressure on you to enjoy your holiday more when you're there, and that become like kind of an issue when you're there.
I don't think that'd ever be an issue for me. It's more that like you know you've got to pay for your holiday, because all we did is what a lot of people do. We bung the deposit down and go out, and we'll worry about the rest of it at some point in the future. And now that some point in the future's coming, it's just become more and more apparent that actually, yes, we can afford to pay for the holiday, but then there's additional overnights to pay for, there's food to pay for, and so on and so on. And I was starting to stress myself out a bit about it, if I'm honest. And I just thought, you know what, let's push it back, because it doesn't matter if we push it back. The great thing is, I booked through Magic Breaks, and they just let me take it as a credit note, because I know I want to book again, but we want to book for May, and we can't book for May until September when the dates come out, so they've just given it back as a credit note. When we get to September, we contact them, give them the details, and that's it. We'll book the holiday again, so it's great. And obviously, they still have, I think they still have the whole Zen guarantee, so if you book direct as well, you can still cancel your holiday and not lose your deposit.
Oh, I thought that was a joke when you said that earlier. When you said the Zen guarantee,
that's what they called it.
I thought it was some kind of...
No, it was brought in over COVID, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
It was basically to let people know, please don't cancel your holidays, because we might be open. But if it gets to the point where you want to move it or cancel it, you still can do. And I think it's up to 9 days before the holiday.
Okay.
But I don't think they've got rid of that yet. But either way, Magic Breaks are great, because it's obviously put down provisional, but they'll just move it, and they're really good at that. So
when the Halcyon Star Wars cruise hotel thing was announced and the prices
Debacle.
Prices were announced, RIP, it's gone now. It didn't even last a year, did it? Did it even last 6 months?
I don't know.
Can't remember.
I lost interest in it after the first day.
Anyway, when people were reviewing that, so in the early doors of that, the Disney dish, which I highly recommend, with Len Tester and Jim Hill, he went on it. He loved it. He gave it the biggest, best possible review you could give an item. He just absolutely loved it. And then he said, if you've got the money to do it, do it. If you have to make any other sacrifices in your life, this isn't for you. And I think that's always a good way of looking at it. It's like, Disney's great. If you've got the money to do Disney, Disney's great. If you have to start considering whether or not you sign your kids up for swimming lessons, or if you're going to, can we get petrol in the car, Disney's not for you. And sometimes you just have to accept that.
The thing is, the first Disney holiday we booked, I got a promotion, and the whole thing was, do you know what? You're suddenly going to have a load of extra money that you haven't had before. But once you've been in that job for a little while, you won't have extra money anymore, because you'll just absorb it all, and you'll end up at a point where you live within those means instead of the means you had before. And this was one of the people that I worked with. She said, what I did was I booked a holiday. Best thing you can possibly do, just use some of that money, book yourself a holiday, like a once in a lifetime thing, because you probably never get to do it again. So that's why we booked to go to Disney in the first place. And then the love of Disney, as you know, and as all you people watching or listening know as well, becomes quite a pressured thing, because all of a sudden you want to go again, and you want to go again, and you want to go again.
Soft drug leads to hard drugs. That's what I said to you.
And they keep ramping those prices up.
And actually, we've been, or we would have, if it wasn't for COVID, we would have been every 18 months from the time that we started. But after the second one, COVID hit, and that was a 2.5 year gap before we went again. And all it means this time is it'll be a 2.5 year gap again, instead of being the 18 months, which it would have been. So it's not the end of the world. There's far more important things in life than that. But it's a bit of a nuisance, because I kind of like going there.
I know.
But look how, like, the village will be way on by then. It won't be just like a corridor of boards. So there's all
I
kinds of
think
things
that
be
you'll
better.
have May 25.
Yeah.
I think you'll have Arundel as well by then.
Do you think?
I think
that's
so.
very optimistic of you.
It did say summer 25, didn't it? So
I mean, the construction stuff's looking like it's getting very built at the moment, isn't it? But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
John says, respect, Chris. I'm in a similar position myself. Want to go back before Christmas, but can't justify the cost of travel, hotel tickets, food, etc. at the moment.
This is it, and we're a family of 4 as well, so it's not like it's just 2 of us. If it was just me and Laura going, it'd be absolutely fine. But it's a little bit unfair on the kids, isn't it, to do that?
Thing is, I do sometimes feel a bit privileged for the amount we go to Disney, but then there's also things like we only have 1 car, we only have 1 child, we have a much smaller house. I'm not comparing house. I just mean generally, we probably have a smaller house than a house we need. We need a bigger house.
Side of the house where we all live, we all live.
And so it's kind of like
Disney Street.
I should have just walked back and got the other microphone, shouldn't I, from the other side?
You could have done. Really.
I think it's a living within your means. Things like you say, your income always stretches to go to what you've got, and we just kind of kept at a point where it's in the monthly budget.
It's also a bit, to be utterly frank, and this is why I wasn't sure I wanted to talk about it, because it's money. Nobody likes talking about the financial situations and stuff. First off, I'm not in dire straits, just so that you all know. There's no real problem. But cost of living's up to last year hadn't really had an impact on me at all because I just absorbed it into other things. But now it's reached a point where actually it's noticeable, and I think that's what's hit. That's what's crippling about all of this. Is the same thing that everybody's been having problems with over the last 3 years. You know, we got on a really lucky thing with our gas bills when all the energy prices went up. We just got into a 2-year fixed contract, and we got right through all the worst of it all before we had to have a jump. But when we had our jump, everybody else's was going back down again. Not to what it used to be, but back down to somewhere better than where it was. Whereas ours did a significant jump, so suddenly we're paying a lot more for our gas than we were before. And yes, it's nice that we had it really low for a while, but actually sometimes a bigger jump's worse. This is what worries me about. We're getting a little bit off topic here, but this is what worries me about mortgages, because we're on a really good mortgage, but the mortgage prices have gone up and up, and part of me thinks actually maybe I should have had a shorter fixed rate just to get used to the increase a little bit. So
well,
it's not
yeah,
such a big jump.
Our mortgage came up for renewal at the worst possible time, and now it's like 300 quid more a month. 300 quid more a month. But that does mean because it's never going to get back down to like pre-inflation levels. So at least it's going to be less than what we're paying now.
Yeah,
it won't be as big a shock. It won't be as good as it was, but at least we're kind of scraping by dealing with it. Yeah. Anyway, mortgage talk.
Pauline asks how old the boys will be when we go next. 12 and 8 they'll be. So it's something going to be. It's not a big change at all, really. And in all honesty, Lucas is just about building up the courage to do some roller coasters. But I think he would have bottled it if we'd gone in at Halloween. So maybe another 6 months behind him and a bit of high school, he might.
And voiceover guy says next year will be better, Chris. Looking at the construction, another 12 months should be great.
Yeah, and you know, it is a consideration. We might push it out further than May if we need to, just to get a better time. But I think heat wise, I couldn't cope with that August like we had like year before last again. It was just unbearable.
When did we go when it was the hottest ever? Oh, I think it was beginning of July. We went the year before Bonnie started school, so she was 3. Bonnie's an August birthday, so she's always really young in this year. So she was still 3, and it was Florida hot. It was 32, 34
I think
degrees.
It was 32 degrees.
Yeah,
it's hard, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was draining. That's the most I think you've suffered. More than when we've gone to Florida.
It's so weird. I suffer more in DLP at lower temperatures because I'm mentally prepared for it in Florida. I always say this, but just knowing how hot, how extreme it's going to be, I just flick a switch and I go, well, you're going to have to deal with it then. But in Paris, you go in, it shouldn't be this hot here. It shouldn't be quite this hot.
Yeah.
And then I get a bit...
It's muffed in.
Annoyed. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Do you want to know something else? Just because I was
yes.
So I was in the car driving from my side of the house to your side of the house, and
every week
down the motorway,
and it occurred to me that we've been pulling that charade now in a month's time for 5 years. It's been in a month's time. It will be 5 years since we did our first classics episode.
That's silly.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? And in September, it'll be 5 years since we started doing the DLP show. So
we love having you around this table every Saturday. Isn't it been a lovely 5 years?
So I'm done. That's all.
No,
that's enough.
Hasn't it been a lovely 5 years having Christopher over?
We had 2 years of it was a year and a half of it was done over virtual most of the time, wasn't it?
We were talking about because Chris's brother was in my year at school, and I was out with some guys from school, and they were talking about Simon, and I said, because I don't think they really knew, I said I do a podcast with his brother. His older brother.
It's like our best friend.
I say,
you're our best friend.
I said, we see him we see him at least once a week, usually twice, and then I just went, I love him. I love him.
I love you guys too. John Parker says 5 years of dwarfs instead of dwarves.
Oh, don't.
It's so weird.
Do you know how rubbish we were at that first podcast? We thought we were great.
We had to re-record it. We sat down and did Snow White. We went through the whole thing, and then I went and looked at all the stuff, and I said, guys, it hasn't worked. We're going to have to record it again.
And then I decided to stop drinking.
We used to record two a night, and we'd do Tuesdays and Thursdays because we wanted to get way ahead on it all. And then we got partway through and we realised that actually it wasn't great because you guys were interacting with us on Facebook and Twitter about stuff that we'd done months ago, and we couldn't have proper conversations about it, so we had to then start doing it weekly.
Yeah, we were trying to do like two. Sometimes we'd do 2 a night. Sometimes we'd do 2. Sometimes we'd get 4 record a night. But at one point we were 15 films ahead or something ridiculous, weren't we?
It was great.
Yeah.
We could have
We
weeks
just
off and
knew,
not have to worry about
we
it.
could go on holiday.
And then Dedicated to DLP stopped podcasting, and we thought, hey, there's a
gap here.
whopping great hole here. So we kind of stepped into it, but then they came back, and now there's about 90 of us doing it.
Yeah, I think lockdown bred a lot of people, didn't it?
Yeah.
But
you come and listen to us, and we appreciate that too.
my point is in September will be 5 years of the DLP show, and 2 years ago in September we did a whatever you call it, a vlog,
A charity show.
Yeah, charity. Whatever. What do you call it? You called it a thing. It's called
marathon.
A thing. Marathon. There you go.
It's just
That's the word.
yeah.
And I think we should do it again. I think we should get a date booked in September, and we should do it again.
I could not agree more. A charity marathon.
Yeah.
And last
A
time,
charathon.
last time we did it
Charathon.
and we were also doing the blanket, which I'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah.
For Dementia UK, and since then, someone very, very close to me someone very close to me's husband who had Parkinson has developed Parkinson's related dementia, and it is awful. And I'm just more motivated than ever. What did we raise last time? 1,000.
Just short of, yeah.
We need to raise 2 this time.
Okay.
Right, so let's
We
start
do.
now, guys. But yeah, we gave prizes away. We had competitions. We had
Mercedes from Chat Disney calling in.
Bob did a quiz.
Bob did a quiz. We had
Sam for God.
Sam for God called in.
We started our unhealthy obsession with chili sauces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my fault. No, it wasn't my fault. You two already love chili sauces. I hate chili sauces. And I said, if people give me money, I will do a chili sauce challenge. But what happened is I sat there in pain, and you two were going, oh, this is nice.
It
Oh,
was
I like that.
That was me, though, because I was like, I don't know how hot is. This has always been my worry with this. When is it too hot? When do you reach a point where you taste something and you go, oh, no, that's no good at all? And I haven't found that time yet. Not even with the Beyond Insanity. It was stupid hot. But it wears off after a few minutes. It's no problem. The licorice was probably one of the closest things, I think, to me thinking maybe I'm not going to do that again.
Let me ask the
But I
listeners
did.
then, and the people in the chat as well. If we did, how long did we do last time? 4 hours? 3 hours?
4 hours, yeah.
If we did a 4-hour marathon show with challenges and activities and quizzes and so on and so forth, what would you like to see in the 4-hour show?
Would you come to Dewsbury to watch it live?
Yeah, that's always, we were on about doing it as a
Even
like,
if only a couple of people came, it'd be worth it. I
as
think
kind
it'd
of a
be
bit of a stage show, weren't we?
yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah.
get in a venue, not like we wouldn't sing and dance, but like setting it up and maybe
I would.
fun. I would as
selling
well.
tickets for it. So
The thing is, I did that with a twinkle in my eye. Chris looked at me dead serious and he said, I would as well.
I still want to do hot sauce karaoke. I think it'd be great.
Yes!
You have a bit of hot sauce and you have to sing a song.
A Disney song.
Yeah. I think that'd be great. Get our ukes out. For the lads.
cooking section, DLP recipes.
Yes.
And now we actually did multiple cameras. Oh, what did we make last time?
R2D2 snacks. What are they called? What are they called?
They made that banana, weren't they?
Yeah, they were appalling.
We can certainly do Disney recipes, and I think
We could do a tiki bar though as well, couldn't we?
Yeah.
How cool
Yes.
would that be? That'd be ace.
all this kind of things.
Oh, listen to this. Andrew says, it's been a brilliant 5 years. The car journeys, lockdown, Sunday evening cuppers. It's been a blast.
Thanks,
Oh,
Andrew.
And John says, agreed, Andrew. This is part of my routine now. Don't know what I'd do without you guys.
oh, we love that. Honestly, this is like one of the. And do you know, you can have an awful week. And I always love doing the podcast. And some days, I'm not going to lie, I don't feel like doing the podcast. But then as soon as the music starts, I'm in a good mood. And that's down to
Picks
you
you up
guys.
and make the difference of your week, can't it? I think.
Nick's been binging them all.
Yeah, that's fun.
All of them.
John says he'd like us to, he'd love us to rank the Pixar films. We were
Yes.
about once doing one of those tier things, weren't we?
Yeah.
So
That might be a
maybe
way to go. Yeah, because we do.
You can drag and
we
drop,
still do
can't you?
want to do the Pixar films at some point, don't we? With the classics episode, like with the film review episodes. but we just
Unfortunately,
haven't-
I don't think we'd ever get through them at this rate.
No, I think we struggle to find the time to do it now.
But
so.
a good compromise, I think, is getting one of those charts and dragging them into various
that could take
S
us
tier, then A, B, C, D.
45
Yeah, that'd
minutes
be
of
great.
alive, couldn't it?
Oh,
Or do
what
we
if we
expect-
could What if we could persuade the arts group to let us use their theatre for the
That's
thing?
what
Because
I'm
then we've got a
thinking.
stage. Even if people aren't there, we've got a stage with areas that we can do stuff in.
Pauline
that.
Stott said, I'd come to Dewsbury just to see you guys. The charity show would be a bonus. Oh, that's so lovely. Nick says, it's been great listening to you nearly 6 hours a day for nearly 2 months.
Oh my word, that's a bit much, Nick.
Even I don't want to do that. God, I need to lie down after 6 hours with these two.
I keep thinking I might start from the beginning again and listen to them, and then I remember that I don't want to.
I can't.
Because I have to listen to it. I live it, and then I listen to it while I edit it, and then I usually listen to it when I run as well. Because
you poor
I like to be really painfully
Ruth
critical
says,
of the
I
audio.
postponed my trip due to cost a year ago, now going in 15 days!
Yeah.
And I'm sure it will be worth the wait. Finding the podcast has also helped stay positive and look forward to it. That's how I got into Disney content in general, was between trips and Disney Blues. It's because when you're getting up to a trip, you're all about packing, planning, reading the books, looking at the app, doing all the things. And then when the trip's over, you've still got that addiction. You've got that addiction to that kind of behaviour, but you've nothing to do. And that's where I start pricing up trips I'll never take. Like, how much would an Alaska cruise be? And that kind of thing. And that's when I start listening to a lot of Disney content. So I'm glad that we can fill that hole in your lives.
I love that we've got some of you guys come here every week, and you know, and you have been doing since day dot, and I absolutely love that. But I also love that there are some of you that will come in because you've got a trip coming up, and then you'll join us for a while because it becomes part of your trip almost. And then you let us know what's happened afterwards, and you send us a trip report, and you might disappear for a bit, but you might come back again next time you're getting ready to go. It's
Do you know what it's like? Every 2 years when I get a phone upgrade, there's a guy on YouTube, bald guy. He reviews phones, and every 2 years, once I've got a couple that I'm interested in, I'll look him up on YouTube and I'll go, oh, it's that guy, and I'm like, oh, I missed this guy. I've not seen him for 2 years, and I'll watch videos of him for about a week, and then I won't see him again for 2 years, but I always come back to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
I like that.
I know that was a bit of a detour. Should we open some crisps? Because there's only 15 minutes left, and no
I've
one's gonna
got
get
one
spicy.
more piece of news.
That's perfect. You do news.
Oh, if you've got your what are they called? Extra flaming hot what's it
Or
crunchies,
Doritos.
then open them now. Oh,
Is Lucy gonna have one?
Do you know what? Let's decide if she can handle it.
No, I don't want one.
They're like knickknacks.
Is the main thing. So I don't want one. And second of all, I'm not particularly sound averse the way Hugh is, but the opening of those crisp packets then really upset my ears.
They are very tame. To me,
They're tamer than normal flaming hot Doritos.
you could handle one of them.
No, I couldn't.
It would give you a tingle on the tongle, but you could handle it.
It's got the words extra flaming hot in it. I could not handle anything about that. However, I will tell you how illuminating Illuminations, the nighttime spectacular on the castle, is returning on the 31st of May. But
Yeah, I know. I know what the butt is, yeah.
without Emma Watson.
I love this because everybody across all of Twitter and Facebook has been saying, oh God, they're bringing that back. Oh, I really wish they'd get rid of all that Beauty and the Beast bit. And they are.
Yeah.
And a bunch of Frozen stuff as
I
well.
tell you what else about this. Yeah, they say half the Frozen section. I didn't mind the Frozen section, so they're having it for whatever it is. And they're getting rid of the live action Beauty and the Beast, which, let's face it, was a new film when they started Illuminations. What, like 10 years ago?
Yeah, it's so short-sighted. Like when they do that, when they go, this is current, let's put this in. It advertises it, and you just think, how long is that going to last? But it's interesting to know that notice the kind of seeing the live action things as something that just kind of brushing to the side now.
Yeah.
Because that's how I see them. I go, oh, they're doing that.
But I'll tell you another positive about this. I haven't seen anyone else talking about this. This might just be a Lucy thing. But it reduces the length of it by a third. Now, we were saying when they now have the drone pre-show, which has gone down an absolute storm, and then they had the Earth Day pre-show for Earth Month, and I'm like, this is getting a bit ridiculous, because one of the downsides of the fireworks is it is quite long to just stand in a group of people and stare up and whatever. And I think that what they do, other than the fact that no one likes Emma Watson. Sorry, Emma Watson. It's not you. It's not you. It's the live action.
It's a character you play.
Yeah. The fact that nobody likes that section. What's going on around me?
Okay, keep talking.
Apart from the fact that it wasn't popular with guests, and I think that was probably been fed back numerous times, The fact that it's reduced by a third, I think, makes way for seasonal shows to precede it or succeed it. So you can have your Christmas, your Halloween, your drone show, your anniversary things. You can have all this to take it back to the half hour. What was it, like 25 minutes, half an hour, I think.
Yeah.
So it can take it back to 25-minute length, but it changes seasonally. And I tell you what, that would get people like me and Hugh to stay in the parks for the fireworks, because we don't. We've seen them.
Yeah.
We don't bother. But if you keep adding new first sections on, I'm there for it. Now, I think DLP report suggested they're not replacing the Beauty and the Beast section with anything because of cost. And I thought, but they are managing to develop new seasonal shows all the time. So I don't think it is cost. I think they're making way for those changeable segments, which is clever. And I'm there for it.
Oh, I hope you're right. That makes a lot of sense.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I looked around to see if anyone else was saying this, and I don't think they say anybody else on Twitter. That's what I mean. I looked around on Twitter, so maybe this is just Lucy jumping to conclusions.
Speaking of changes, did I notice, and did you talk about this last week? Because I haven't listened to last week's episode.
Rude.
I know. I have started listening to it. I haven't got that far through it. Did I see that they've moved Stars on Parade to be like an early afternoon thing now, and they're doing the colours thing 3 or 4 times in the afternoon?
Yeah, so it's 11:30, and then I think they now get 3.
So they've almost like downgraded Stars on Parade from being the main parade there, haven't they? I just find that interesting, that's all.
Hey, to Stan from the Solo Show.
Hey Stan!
Check him out. Got a great show. And Lisa is here and says, I've never seen Illuminations, but watched it on YouTube, and the Beauty and the Beast and First Time in Forever, after Let It Go, stuck out and seen good choices for edit.
Yeah, not good choices. Good choices for
to
edit.
Get rid.
Yeah. I tell you what I really like.
Prime candidates.
And it gets me, and that's when the Millennium Falcon comes up from the base. That gets me every time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I do love the Star Wars sections though. Those are my favourite bits.
But
cheers, Pip.
The tried and tested and timeless. By whenever this was developed, by 2015 or whenever, Star Wars had been around since 1972 and people were still interested in it. Putting the Millennium Falcon and the John Williams theme on, good plan. Maybe not if it had been all Ray on it, whatever. But
I bypassed the compressor.
It's like, this is worth the investment. People are still going to be into this. Live action Beauty and the Beast. Nah.
No.
Short-sighted, like you say.
Yeah, just no.
Right. What have we got? 12 minutes left. What do you want us to talk about?
Nick's just asked me how Butlins was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know this.
My word.
We did see you last
week.
weekend.
Could you talk about it in comparison to a DLP trip?
Can I talk about it? Okay, so first off, check-in.
Because Nick's going, bear in mind, in a month, is it?
Yes, I think.
End of the month for 5 days.
Yeah. Just first off, this Ted, they were trying the tingly Teds, and it's making this slightly more hotter, but not a lot.
Yeah, Stan from the Solo Show wants to know what crisps we put a call out for listeners and viewers to get some flaming hot Doritos, extra flaming hot, and what's it? But they're they're kind of tame.
If you haven't had this before, I'll tell you what it tastes like. It tastes like the Doritos salsa.
Yeah, I'll bet it does. I can tell that just by looking at it.
It's all right. It's all right. It's tasty. It's got a nice bit of flavour to it. Not a lot of kick to it. Anyway.
People who are not in the UK, Butlins is a chain of seaside resorts that has entertainers called Redcoats. I don't know what the equivalent is on the continent. But basically, they've been around since like the 40s or something, haven't they? And it's loads of cabins. These days, it's loads of... is it caravans now?
No, it's apartments, basically. It's apartments or rooms.
Little apartments, and then they've got like a big
Chalets.
entertainment complex. It's just a holiday park. That's what you need to know. How is Butlins?
It's like Eurocamp, but they're not tents. How was it? It wasn't great. I don't really know how else to put it. It wasn't great. So we went for a football event, and the football event was absolutely first rate. It's organised by a company called ESF, and it's the biggest youth football tournament in the country. They run it in various different Butlins and in Havens as well. And I'm not trying to plug it or anything, but it's really, really well organised. We met Shay Given, who's a goalkeeper for Newcastle United. He handed out all the trophies at the end of it all. There were 2 days of tournaments, and it was brilliant. It was really, really well organised. The accommodation and the place itself, it's like stepping back into years gone by, and as is with places like Haven, Pontins, everything, there's an arcade there where you can go and play the 2-penny fall machines and all that sort of stuff, which the kids love. There's a massive swimming pool with slides and things. The swimming pool was all shut, but the slides were open, so we had a slot in the swimming pool. You can only book 1 slot per holiday, and once you've booked it and you're there, you can then book another one if you want, but you can't book multiple ahead of the time. But yeah, the main pool was closed, which basically meant we had slides to go around for an hour and a half, which wasn't great. There are bars and restaurants all over the place, and the food's really good. The bars are all, Carling, and Jackrabbit wine, that sort of thing. So it wasn't great, but the accommodation is where it really kind of really badly falls down, because you can go out for the night and it's okay. Sticky floors and stuff. It's kind of like being, your stock nightclubs. Yeah. But like pretty much every bar is like your stock. What you expect from a nightclub: sticky blue carpet with like red squares on it and stuff. And it all looks like the Frontier in Batley, which would mean something to you guys, probably to Guy, but maybe not to anybody who doesn't live around here.
Batley Variety Club.
Yeah, Volts if you're from Kingston, Club Barcelona. That was one of the best. Do you remember that? There's a big chain of them, and yeah, it's one. Anyway, you get the idea. But the accommodation, I walked through the door. And we were like, it's a little bit of a mess this, but it was okay. And we put the bags down. The carpet seemed all right. We got to the kitchenette in our apartment. It's a 3-bedroom apartment. Got to the kitchenette and I stepped foot on it and I had to pull my foot off it. It was like sticky. So I said to Laura, I'm going to have to go and get something, because there was nobody about. The place was absolutely full, and everybody was arriving. So in terms of any like caretakers and stuff, I knew they were going to be fully busy with everything going on. So I just thought, I can't be bothered messing about with this. So I was all set to go to the shop and buy some cleaning fluid. Then I noticed there's a care package in this little bundle, and it had a tea towel and a J cloth and a scrubbing, like a sponge, and some washing up liquid. So I grabbed the washing up liquid and opened it and just squirted it all over the kitchen floor. And I spent the next 10 minutes cleaning the floor, which is what you want to do when you arrive at an apartment.
That's unbelievable.
So that kind of set the whole thing, and we decided we didn't want to spend too much money, so we brought a load of food with us. And on the second day, we turned the oven on to make our pizzas, and the oven didn't get warm. So we had problems with that. I feel really sorry for it, because it's the second time I've been. The first time I went, it was just me and Lucas, and we had a room that was just a really, really tiny room with 2 beds in it and nothing else. And it was awful, and it was freezing cold, but it was worth being there for the time that we had, for the overall experience. And I would say same again this time. It was worth it because we had a really, really good time. It was good bonding for the kids and their football team. It was good bonding for the parents who don't spend a lot of time together. So that side of it was really good. But if you were going there for a holiday and you received the service that we got, you would not be impressed at all. You'd just feel like it just wasn't worth it. And all they need to do is put some of the money that they're bringing in from doing this, because it cost us 800 quid this weekend, 800 quid for a weekend, and all they needed to do was, aside from the fact that obviously the floor hadn't been cleaned, I get that things get missed sometimes, so I'm not gonna. It's not nice, but it is what it is. But all I need to do is give it a lick of paint, fix some of the things. It's really atmospheric. You walk around at night when it's getting dark and all the lights are up around these big lodges and stuff. It's beautiful, but because it's so worn and nobody seems to want to throw any money at it, it's just a real shame, because there's a fairground there as well with a carousel and loads of different rides and stuff, but everything just feels like old and dated and worn. Hopefully Minehead's a bit different to Skegness, is what I would say to you, and I know a lot of people have really good holidays there. So
well, Pauline says Butlins is where my auntie and uncle met each other in Wales.
Nice.
Now a haven. But then, are we nearly there yet? Says the queue for slides was over an hour when we went 2 weeks ago. The booking system for the pool, very much like the fast pass system. You can't book a bunch, use one, then you book another slot.
Tracy,
just to bring it.
I was just going to say about Tracy.
Tracy said that she met her husband there. He was a redcoat and she was a performer in the cast.
I was just going to say, I think Tracy lives in Skegness and used to work there because Tracy's one of the people who sent through some of the squares, and we found out that actually she knows someone who lives on Disney Street across the road. So it's really, really weird. So I sent her through the address to send the things to, and it just happens that she knows one of the neighbours. Would I go again? Yes, I would go again. I would definitely do it again. I would hope for a better room, and I think I would make sure I went and said something if there was a problem with it.
Just to take it back to Disney though, we stayed at Village Nature, and
you were saying this the other week.
The complex was fabulous. The pools, the common areas, the activities. We had a wonderful time. But we had a 3-bedroom cozy cottage, and it was horrible. I'm sorry, but it was really dirty. It was.
There were chips in the cupboard.
There was chips in the cupboard.
Loose chips.
There was cobwebs and spiders and stuff in the corners of the rooms. So Bonnie wasn't happy about that. And
just to clarify to anyone, we're talking potato fries.
French fries.
Chips. French fries. Chips.
Pomme de terre.
In the cupboard.
Yeah.
Bugs everywhere, but that can't be helped.
So it wasn't clean, and I don't think the word cosy was very well used either, because
laminate floors.
Yeah, laminate floors, hard edges, and like a sticky plastic couch that you really wouldn't want to sit on for a long time.
But the flip side of all of this is, Dan and Becky went to Village Natures and they thought it was fantastic and it was brilliant. And there were people I was with this time who their rooms were great for them. So it is your own experience, isn't it? Unfortunately, and then when you're in those situations and it's horrible, you're either the kind of person who can't cope with it, or you make the most of your situation, don't you?
And there's the tropical storm we were promised.
My grass is getting water and it needs it. It's been desperate for it to dry out for weeks and weeks and weeks, and suddenly chucking it down.
I've got nematodes in there that I need to keep moist. I've got 50 million nematodes in that lawn. Joey says, Butlins in Bognor is horrendous. We left after only one night as we found blood on the duvet and pillows. God. The oven blew up twice. Rubbish everywhere, and it was so cold.
Oh man!
We ended up so ill.
Oh no!
I'm laughing out of just like shock. There.
I went to Bognor once because my uncle and aunt live in Billingshurst, so we went to Bognor for a day trip there, and it was a really, really good experience actually as kids, just going and swimming and playing in the fairgrounds and stuff. But yeah, I've heard bad things about that one as well. The park next door is great, and it used to be a theme park as well. So there's a park that used to have a theme park called Rainbow's End, and it was like for young kids, and it was brilliant. And I'm really, really gutted it's not there, because when the boys were little, I thought it'd be somewhere we'd be able to take them, and we went there, and it wasn't there anymore. It's just a park.
Right, I'm gonna do some business now. Business.
Yeah. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
You can't talk about Butlins for 15 minutes and then tell me I've only got 2 minutes for Disney.
You promised
business.
Butlins last week.
I know. Right, so as I mentioned earlier, we are doing a blanket for charity. We're going to auction it off. Well, I think we're going to raffle it off for Dementia UK. And what I need, and I need quite a few more to get you crocheting, is crocheted granny squares with a Disney theme. So this would be, Huey?
Luxor Junior's Ball.
That's correct. This would be...
Marie,
very good.
Listeners, you can imagine what these would look like.
We have Pooh.
Oh.
That's Winnie the.
This one's the wrong size. I did this one. I'm not criticising this one, but that's
Marlin.
That's yeah.
/ Nemo.
Finding Nemo, etc. So any kind of granny square like that I can sew together to make this big giant blanket,
basically,
I will do that.
A crochet Disney bound
circle
type of thing.
Not circle, square. And we
Square.
want it 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres. So if you could do that, that would be super. That's the first bit of business.
We do have a bunch.
We'd really appreciate. We do. We've got loads, and it's going to be great. We could do with double what we've got though, if possible.
So we need it by September then, don't we? Basically?
September, yeah. We'll make a big thing of it in September. That's perfect, actually, I think, for people to go, oh, I've got time to do that. The other
Mel says she's got about 20 to send.
Yay! That's wonderful. The other thing is, we're now going to do our Patreon show, and this week it is another 37 Quizney Street, which means that I've written a quiz that is 10 questions long, and you can join in at home, and you get to pitch these brains against each other, see which one is the stupidest one. And yeah, it's just a bit of fun. So if you want to join our Patreon, it's only £3 a month, and you help with the microphone situation, you help keep the lights on, you help with the hosting of the website, all that kind of thing. And in return, you get an extra 20-minute show after this one. You don't have to listen live. You can get it just sent to you if you're not free on a Sunday night. And it's just a heck of a lot of fun.
There's also a backlog of 2 other series of Quizney Street on there as well.
There is.
Amongst other things.
So if you enjoy the quizzes, go back and listen to the other ones. There's lots going on. Oh, Tanya's got 12 to send, but I'm running out of ideas. This is brilliant. So that's 32 more that we've got
There you go.
immediately.
I feel like I ought to do one, but it's not my thing really. Laura might.
Mel taught herself using a YouTube video because, as Lucy said
good.
before, because someone asked for a tutorial, but she said the quickest way to do it is just to watch.
Stop bothering me.
Yeah.
Just go and find a YouTube.
Well, no, thing is, I would do one for you, but I'm not an amazing crocheter. I can crochet, but I'm not amazing. And there are people out there who've got entire channels dedicated to teaching you how to crochet. So just go and watch one of them, and I'll give you ideas for colours. Right, okay, so thank you very much for joining us tonight. So what's the sweet that they have to get for next week, Hugh, Chris, if they want to join in?
Are we doing it again?
Mango.
Oh, have a look on YouTube for spiced mango.
You mean Amazon?
Amazon, sorry, yeah, not YouTube. for spiced mango. It's pickled spiced mango. I think it's $4.99 a packet, just so you know. If you want to try some.
Nick says Michelle has done 5 so far.
Oh, nice. Thanks,
Right,
guys.
so thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we will see you on the flip side. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Peace! Right, that was it. Jeffrey. Bye. See you later.